and share my videos. You guys are the absolute best, man. Thank you guys so much. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I am a co-host on a radio show called Let's Talk Jets. My other co-host, his name is Tyson Roush. His college football team is absolute trash, but we're not here to talk about that, alright? We're live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Blog Talk Radio. We also take live callers as well, so go ahead and give us a call if you like. We love discussing, the Jets and getting interactive with our fans. You can follow us on Facebook. Go on Facebook, search Long Beach Joe, like that page. Our content's up there. Everything we do is up there. Give us some feedback, message us, let us know what you think. You can also follow us on Twitter as well at Talk Jets Radio. Go ahead and follow us. Get in contact with us. We live tweet during the show as well. And we just love talking to different people about the team. I'm also attached to a website called nyjetsfans.com. What a great site, man, full of writers that know what they're talking about when they talk about the Jets. Lots of great content. They also have a shop there. Go ahead and buy something from the shop, man. Favorite that site. Get involved, man. Go there every single day, all right? So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into my Week 8 picks recap. Let's go, guys. All right? First game I want to talk about, Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers. Chose the Cincinnati Bengals. That got me a win. Cincinnati 16, Pittsburgh 10. Let me tell you something. This was a game where you just saw that Ben Roethlisberger is just rusty. He's just a little rusty right now coming off that injury, Ben Roethlisberger was 28 of 45. He had 262 yards throwing the ball. He had a TD, but he also had 3 interceptions. And then the Steelers take a big hit. Le'Veon Bell goes down. He's done for the season. DeAngelo Williams steps in. He was still productive on the day, though, as he was, when Le'Veon was suspended. Williams had 9 carries for 71 yards. Still solid. Heath Miller had a solid day as well. 10 catches for 105 yards. So the Steelers, I think, will get their mojo back. I think Ben is going to, he's going to find his way back. He's just a little rusty right now. 3 interceptions a day. He usually takes care of the ball. But on the flip side, man, let me tell you something. Andy Dalton is playing as well as I've ever seen Andy Dalton play. He's fighting. He's not going to give up. He was able to get a late TD in this game to put the Bengals ahead to give them the win. Andy Dalton was 23 of 38, 231 yards throwing the ball. He had a TD, but he also had 2 interceptions. The running game was okay. Jeremy Hill was able to get some things done. He had 15 carries for 60 yards. A.J. Green is just always being A.J. Green. He was still there for Andy. Still the guy, the number 1 guy he's going to be throwing the ball to. 11 catches for 118 yards. He had a TD. Tyler Eifert was solid on the day as well. This is a guy that's really coming on for their offense. He's healthy, finally. So he's definitely out there putting numbers up. He had 4 catches for 39 yards. The Bengals were able to do just enough to beat the Steelers. It's a tough matchup for them. It's a division rival. They are always just banging heads up there in the AFC North. And it was a hard-fought game. But the Bengals, like I said, were able to get a late TD and pull away. So congrats to the Bengals. They got themselves a win, and that got me a win. Next game. Oh, my goodness. Green Bay Packers at Denver Broncos. I took the Denver Broncos in this game, and I said it was going to have to be the defense and the running game that got the Broncos a win. Boy, was I right. Green Bay Packers 10, Denver Broncos 29. This was a game where the Broncos defense said, hey, listen, we're going to shut you down. That's it. We're not playing any games out here, and that's exactly what they did. Aaron Rodgers was under duress all night long, okay? There was guys in his face. There were guys at his feet. He couldn't set his feet to make a throw. He was trying to make throws on the run. They were all over him, okay? They were sitting blitzers. They were sitting in the house. Anything but the kitchen sink. They were going to throw it at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was 14 of 22 on the day. He only had 77 yards total in this game. 77 yards throwing the ball. Aaron Rodgers with 77 yards throwing the ball. That's all he had on the day. Eddie Lacy had 11 carries for 38 yards, excuse me. I mean, it was crazy to watch this Denver Broncos defense dominate the way they did. Randall Cobb had 6 catches for 27 yards. This Broncos defense was not going to let up, period. They were going to be in Aaron Rodgers' face all night long. That was their objective, and the mission was accomplished. On the flip side, Peyton Manning was able to do a lot of things. He was 21 of 29, 340 yards throwing the ball, and he also had one interception, man. But I tell you what, the guy that was on the receiving end of that, Demaryius Thomas, went nuts in this game, okay? 8 catches for 168 yards. There were so many route combinations that he was running, especially against this young corner that the Packers had. They signaled, they identified him, signaled him out, and said, we're going to attack you all night long. And that's exactly what they did. The running game for the Broncos is extremely solid as well. C.J. Anderson popped up. Okay, this is a guy that a lot of people have been on top of saying, hey, he's not performing. 14 carries, 101 yards, and a TD. But that's not it, though. Ronnie Hillman was able to get into the game as well and make his impact. So when you got two guys running the ball the way they did, I mean, Ronnie Hillman had 19 carries for 60 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. Man, what a day on the ground. The Broncos are showing you, hey, even with Peyton's arm declining, we can win the games other type of ways. We can pound you with the running game, and we can play solid defense, and Peyton can be the caretaker back there and just not turn the ball over too much, and we'll still win games. They're winning games different type of ways. So congrats to the Broncos. Like I said, that defense looked great. They were just dominant. They're definitely working away. So again, congrats to the Broncos. They got themselves a win, and that got me a win. Last but not least, my goodness, your favorite game, my favorite game, our favorite game. Jets at the Oakland Raiders. Took the Jets in this game, that got me a loss. New York Jets 20, Oakland Raiders 34. This was a game that was just embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing for the Jets from every standpoint. Fitzpatrick, early in the game, scrambles, he gets outside. What do we all say about Fitz? He needs to slide. He needs to get down. He doesn't slide. He tries to slide. He's running around. Charles Woodson tries to tackle him, grabs one of his hands, and tears some ligaments in his thumb. He was done early in the game. He was only 4 or 5. He only had 46 yards on the day throwing the ball. From then, everything went downhill. Geno Smith comes in. He looks clueless. He made some nice throws, as he usually does, these flashes, but for the most part, a lot of bonehead plays. Geno was 27 of 42, 265 yards throwing the ball. He had 2 TDs and an interception. I mean, our running game was complete and utter garbage. Geno was actually our leading rusher. He had 2 carries for 34 yards. Everything was bad. Everything was bad once that happened. Brandon Marshall, as usual, he still has a 100-yard game, 9 catches for 108 yards, but he drops a big TD. Jeremy Curley looked solid out there, 4 catches for 63 yards, but it just wasn't. It was just bad. The Raiders they just outplayed us. Our defense was terrible, absolutely terrible in the day. Okay, David Carr, we didn't get 1 sack. Let me say that again. We did not get 1 sack on Derek Carr. Oh, not one. Not 1 sack on Derek Carr. He looked like he had time to make a sandwich, figure out what he wanted to do in off-season vacation, plan trips here and there. He was doing whatever he wanted to do back there, no pressure, with everybody healthy on our defensive line. Derek Carr was 23 of 36, 333 yards throwing the ball. 333 yards on this defense with this secondary. And he had 4 TDs. Latavius Murray, let this sink in. Latavius Murray, 20 carries, 113 yards. Tywan Jones had a big catch for 59 yards. We looked like Barnum Bailey out there trying to tackle him. Okay? Crabtree had a very big catch in this game, broke like 3 or 4 tackles, and got in the end zone. Crabtree had 7 catches for 102 yards. He also had a touchdown. It was an embarrassment. Absolutely embarrassing performance. And the coaching was even worse. Some of the decisions we made in the 4th quarter when we were still in the game, because for whatever reason, the Raiders were still throwing the ball, even though they were up. Instead of running the ball and taking the game away, they were still out there throwing the ball. So they let us back in the game. And some horrible fourth quarter decisions by Todd Bowles as far as clock management. Geno took 2 sacks on 3rd down instead of throwing the ball away. Man, it was a ridiculous game to watch, and I'm embarrassed. We've got to get better. Point blank, period. Like, there's just, I'm fired up. There's just no, it was just stupid. So we got our butts handed to us. Congrats to the Raiders. They got themselves a win. I'm not taking anything away from them, but it's terrible. And who knows how long Fitz is going to be out now, and who we're going to go to, because Geno got banged up too, and he may not be able to play. So we're just calling any quarterback, guys from the YMCA, do you want to play? I mean, it's ridiculous. Look, as always, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe. Like the videos. Share the videos as well. And as always, guys, have a great day. Peace.